If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can also be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. How about that? Everything you need to make a podcast is all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Thank you for listening.
The views and opinions expressed by the host, participating audience, and our guests are solely their own and not necessarily that of Affirm Relationship Network.
Welcome to the Affirm Relationship Podcast. This podcast was created in honor of my sister, April Riley, who lost her battle to stage 4 pancreatic cancer. This show is from the perspective of singles, couples, parents, and everyday people. Affirm Relationship hosts, our special guests will speak on topics related to relationships and resources on how to improve those individual connections. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy our thought-provoking conversations, intellectual dialogue, useful information that will help enhance your life. Please don't forget to tune in and subscribe. I am your host, Kingya, a father, political activist, designer, and motivational speaker.
Thank you again for tuning in to our show. I am hosting on the Affirm Relationship Radio Show, and joining us is our friend, Sister Zen, and
yes.
She is from Fasondeviv.
Yes, you got it.
So, Zen, we're talking about health, nutrition, and entrepreneurship, and you are an entrepreneur. And as I was stating, we want to share some information with our listeners this evening on resources. We want to talk about your business. We want to talk about you, how you got started in your business, and what you are doing to sustain yourself in this quarantine and during this pandemic. As we know that this is a hard time for those that are trying to earn a living and to gain gainful employment. That has been challenging.
Yeah, so, so let me just sum up my history in business. So I've been in business for 7 years now, and we are strictly online. So really with this whole epidemic that's going on, it really hasn't, affected our business because our business is global. We did lose cash flow, so our cash flow isn't as before this pandemic. How it really affected me was lack of cash flow, and also I don't have my team members around, so we're doing a lot of Zoom calls and things like that, and I am the only one that's packaging, orders or whatever. So I have 18 orders that I have to package myself. I don't mind doing that, but it did affect us. It really did with the whole, we carry women's apparel. So knowing that everybody's isolated in their home and not being able to go out, and rock our clothing. So we just being patient around this time, and also utilizing this time too to just do our website over and learning how to engage with our customers, putting more content out there. So this downtime, we are just focusing on how can we keep them in a mindset that's positive and not just selling products.
That makes all the sense in the world, because if I'm not mistaken, you're also into the fashion, jewelry, accessories, home decor, art, and beauty brands, correct?
Yes. And 90% of our inventory is from independent brands. So the independent brands that we sell, when you shop Fasondeviv, you're not just supporting our company, you're supporting other small entrepreneurs underneath us. So we like an umbrella. And when you make a purchase, you're supporting other families as well. So I'm happy for that, because
wonderful that you mentioned that, because I'm not sure that most of our listeners are aware what today actually is. And you mentioned that you sell a lot of your products online. Well, today is actually Digital Wellness Day. May 1st is Digital Wellness Day. Did you know that?
Oh, wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yes. And the mission of Digital Wellness Day is to empower individuals, communities, and organizations with research-based tools and strategies to flourish in a digital age. Interesting. Today is actually Digital Wellness Day.
Oh, yes. Wow. I did not know that. Okay.
Hand in hand.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, with the mental health and the digital age or whatever, everybody's on their phone. So, like I give advice to my consumers as in just be conscious of like, what you reading and who you following on your timeline. Anything to keep you motivated, positive, especially a lot of people making these TikTok videos too. So that's helpful, for our consumers or our followers or whoever's listening. It's just putting their creative brain, into work instead of just sitting in the house watching television, to be part of the digital world.
Yeah, I kind of got off into TikTok a little bit. I'm not really too familiar with how it all works, but I think I put a few videos up there on TikTok as well. So I'm going to have to revisit that. I'm definitely going to have to revisit that. I'm not too tech savvy, as most of you already know, but I am learning. I'm learning a little bit at a time as I can. So I am making small progress in the digital world.
Well, which is good. So now it seems like it's a force. Everybody is now. It's forceful for everybody to learn how to use their own phone or just playing around on their phone in general, because there's a lot of apps they could play games and everything. Yeah, Digital Wellness Day. Oh, wow. I just learned something new today.
Good. So you have been in business since 2012. You've had several businesses. You've rebranded yourself since 2012, of course. So let's talk about your love for entrepreneurship. Tell us the story behind the name of your company, how it began, where it began, of course, where our listeners can find you, and all of that good stuff.
Okay, so what Fasondeviv, I'm going to spell it out, Fasondeviv, F as in Frank, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, O as in Octopus, N as in Nancy, Fason, and Deviv is D as in David, E as in Elephant, V as in Victor, I as in Igloo, and V as in Fasondeviv. If you put that in your search engine in Google or fasondeviv.com, it goes straight to our website. Fasondeviv on Instagram, it'll go straight to our Instagram, and Facebook is Fason, Fasondeviv, curated marketplace on Facebook. But if you go on our website, fasondeviv.com, it's in the bottom of the page, all of our social media links. So that's how you can follow us and also learn more about our brand too. And my journey, and to answer your question too, Kingya, my journey started as an entrepreneur. I was actually raised in a home environment. Both of my parents are entrepreneurs. So when I got a little bit older and wiser, I realized that my parents was entrepreneurs. Like, I have entrepreneur parents, and it wasn't really hard for me to just jump into the field that I'm in, which is, I'm a buyer. So I started off as a buyer. So I'm not the maker. So everything, like I said before, the product that's on our platform is made by independent brands, but I am the buyer for our company, Fasondeviv. I am the buyer. So I seek out brands all the time. And I learned how to become a buyer due to the family business. We have a family business, and I learned a lot from being a part of the family business, like vending and just showing up when my father had meetings and things like that. So I had a strong foundation in entrepreneurship, and even when I started my own business, I had someone close to ask questions like, how do I get a business license? What do I need to do? So I had close people, which is both of my parents, and I'm so grateful for that. But I really, the business just came to me. It just fell on my lap by helping someone else. I was actually helping someone else in 2010. In 2010, I was helping someone else with their brick and mortar store. I am obsessed with aesthetics, so I like, anything decorish, anything that tells a story, especially in retail. So I had helped that person with their retail store. And then that's when, long story short, I decided to venture out on my own and just went from there.
Was that challenging for you? Were your parents an asset in your development?
Yeah, my parents played a huge role because one thing when you taking that to jump in and taking that leap of faith, you have to have people in your corner that believes in you too, or even if they don't believe you 100%, but they're just there as your safety net. So my parents then they still are, they still the greatest support system ever, because one, they understand the hustle, they understand the lifestyle, they understand that business is always up and down. So they've been, my foundation, and especially when it comes down to the knowledge that they do have and the new knowledge with this new day and age, which is technology, which I do love. I love everything tech. So that is something that I brought to the table when it comes down to the family business. But when I started, it was more so the guidance of just, the little things that you have to do in the beginning, as in your paperwork and things like that. So, yeah, they played a huge role as an asset of having a resource of people that understand the language of business. So that was definitely a benefit.
It's always good when you have family and supporters on your team to help you along the way, give you guidance and consultations. It's always good to have that type of support for sure.
Before being a CEO, I learned so much about myself as a person. When I transitioned to Fasondeviv, which means the lifestyle in Haitian Creole, I am Haitian. I'm Haitian American. I'm Haitian first.
That's where that fire comes from. Okay.
So I'm Haitian, and then I did the history of Haiti, and then my mother, she's the bloodline of the Haitian culture. She's the one that's Haitian, and knowing that I came from a Haitian woman and I came from this place of independence, it really just made me feel beautiful. Whoa, I'm attached. I'm attached to the whole, the Haitian history, the independence of it, and also knowing that Haiti, before the hurricane, they had a marketplace that brought so many tourists and also brought so many jobs and economics in the country that I fell in love. And we also carry Haitian products too. So we do get our products, some products, house and home decor, which is really what we really carry from Haiti is the wooden products that we carry, which is nice ebony wood and things like that from Haiti. So, so when I rebranded, it was more so, what am I going to put out there to the world? How do I want the world to see my brand? And there's not a lot of companies that has Haitian Creole. Creole is French and Spanish and one. And that language was put in the Constitution in 1988. So in 1988, it became a legit language, and I was born in 1988. So when I just put all of those dots together, and I was like, oh, this is exactly, and when I went to go visit Haiti, I said, oh, this is my brand. This is a voice. It's a lifestyle. It's not just you buying products. It's an economic thing, too. You're supporting, independent brands and craftsmanship and also the history of independence. And we are an independent brand. So we're not a big corporate brand. So Haiti was just something that just called out to me. And I was just like, oh, what should I name my company? And the core of the company is teaching women how to live a more abundant, holistic lifestyle.
Okay, all right. I'm loving that. I love the energy. I love the spunk. I love the spot, and it just makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense now. You're from Haiti, but you are a Haitian woman. I've had some education about Haiti. Thank you so much for sharing that wonderful information. You are such a phenomenal blessing, and it's a pleasure having you on the show tonight.
But thank you.
Not a problem. So for those that are tuning into our show, you're listening to the Affirm Relationship Radio Show, and I am hosting this evening. My name is Kingya. That's Kingya, Kingya. And joining us is Sister Zen from Fasondeviv. So she is a business owner and entrepreneur, and she's into independent fashion, jewelry making, accessories, home decor, art, and beauty brands also. Those are just a few of her niches that she's involved in. And you can find her on Instagram and all the other social media channels as well. We are talking about health, nutrition, and entrepreneurship. It is important that you guard and protect your mind, body, and your spirit. Also, finances play a huge role in your day-to-day living. When it comes to your health, when it comes to nutrition, it costs money. And with this quarantine, people are finding it difficult to make money and to see ends meet. So we want to give you guys a few suggestions and tips on how to make money. And also, this is also a time where you could be focusing on building and establishing or rebuilding your credit score. If you don't have credit or you don't have a credit history, this is an opportune time for you to be investing in building your credit score or rebuilding your credit. Right, irregardless of what's going on around the world. So we will give you that information. So for now, Sister Zen, let's talk about a little health and nutrition. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about that because that plays a big role on your everyday living. So that plays a major, major role. And also for mental wellness as well. I look at the body as so simple, like a car, right? So whatever you put into your body is what reflects outer. So, and what gives you energy, and what gives you energy too. Repeat that. I didn't hear you.
Or you get out of it what you put into it. So you have to fuel the body just like you would fuel a vehicle. You put gas in it, you check the oil, you check the brakes, you do all that good stuff, to make sure that it's running functionally.
Yes, absolutely. So it's all about what you put in your body because every different food gives you different kind of energy, but knowing that we have the natural resources that is provided for us. As in a lot of green, I always say anything with greenery, scenery, when you are cooking, just make sure you have something green or something colorful. The reason why I say colorful, use peppers, use onions, use garlic, use, anything like spinach, kale, whatever that is a natural resource, not a product that is, how can I put it? Kingya, help me out. Not a processed product.
Right, you don't want to put processed foods in your body. You want to put natural stuff in your body.
Absolutely, and that plays that plays a role in everyone's lifestyle. And the reason why, I had transitioned from being a pescatarian, and I've been a pescatarian and haven't been eating meat for years now. I would say, 5 years haven't been eating meat. I had stopped due to just like awakening. I actually had an experience that I literally passed out because I wasn't taking care of my nutrition lifestyle, and I was just so focused and painting our new building. We had just got this building. I'm painting. I'm, answering emails. I'm just moving around fast. But the food that I was eating, to give me energy wasn't the proper foods. It was like carbs. It was like bread. Let me hurry up and grab something to eat. Let me hurry up and make a sandwich and things like that. And I wasn't consciously thinking about what I was putting in my body. So when I went to the hospital and had this whole experience, that was just an awakening for me, wait, what do you put, I had to analyze what I ate for the whole week. And I broke it down, the whole month, and I broke it down to a whole week. And I realized the proportion wasn't, the proportion didn't look right. As in in school we learned the pyramid, the food pyramid as the proportion levels. And I tell people, if you still eat meat, it's okay. Just remember, where are you buying your meat from? Because the same thing that you're putting in your body from that chicken that's not properly, wasn't properly raised, as in grass-fed and a certain, in the cage, the environment, you are eating that flesh, of that animal, and you putting it into your body. And with everything being so fast when it comes down to food, which I just really, really hate, in the supermarkets, is like you want to hurry up and put things on the shelf, but they inject in a lot of things in your meat, and a lot of those products. So you getting a lot of hormones, you getting a lot of, they say they put Clorox injections. So you just got to be conscious of, what are you putting in your body? And
oh, yeah, they put a whole lot of stuff in that meat thing, steroids, all types of stuff.
Exactly.
And that's one of the reasons why I became vegan. So I have been practicing the vegan lifestyle for a number of years. I initially adopted the vegan lifestyle I was 18 when I actually adopted the vegan lifestyle.
Nice.
And 5 years ago, I had a relapse, and I started eating chicken and fish and tried shrimp for the first time. And I had never experienced any of that stuff. Couldn't tell you what it tasted like. Lobster, crab, never. I would never eat any of that. I noticed that I had put on a lot of weight, and I had a diabetes scare. I went into the doctor for something else, and I was told to go to Walgreens and pick up my prescription. And when I went there to pick up my prescription, they gave me some metformin. And I'm like, what is this? The pharmacist at Walgreens was like, you got diabetes. I'm like, huh? What do you mean I got diabetes? I don't have no diabetes. What do you mean diabetes? The doctor hadn't had that conversation with me. He just wrote a script for medication for me to pick up, and one of them was metformin. And I felt so disrespected. I was embarrassed, and I'm like, and I just had to get a second and third. It was a scare for me because one doctor was saying that I had it, and he prescribed the metformin, and had I started taking the metformin, I probably would have been in worse shape. I grabbed the medications, I flushed it down the toilet. When I got home, never ever took it. Got a second and a third opinion. One doctor that I did speak to, he advised that I incorporate a lot of blueberries and blackberries in my life, and had asked me about my eating habits. And I'm like, Doc, I'm a vegan. I don't have diabetes.
Yeah.
Like how do I don't have diabetes. What do you mean? This other doctor, he's like, no, you don't have diabetes. Your levels were a little high. You're pre-diabetic. However, if you do this, for a period of time, you should be fine. Exercise, he definitely recommended exercise. And I was just describing my diet to him. I say, Doc, I love rice. I love making rice dishes, and I could cook some African dishes. We all eat dry rice. So, from the Liberian community, I make some African dishes, and then I go to the Nigerian community, and it's a lot of rice too, rice and fufu, and then I like potatoes. I love French fries and potatoes and mashed potatoes and pasta, and that was turning into starch. Exactly, the starch and sugar, and that's what it was. So I started portion controlling. I started watching what I was eating and how much I was eating and how often I was eating, and that played a huge role because I was always sluggish and tired, and my testosterone level had dropped, and I'm like, what is going on with me? I noticed that I had hiked up to about 215 pounds, and I've never weighed more than 185 in my life, and that was a scare for me. I noticed that my pant size had gone up from a 36, 38 to 40 in waist, and my neck went from like a 15 or 16 to like a 17.5-inch neck, and I was like, no, this ain't it. I can't walk up the steps. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. I'm like, no. Yeah. So we have to take care of our mind, body, and spirit. It's very important that we nurture ourselves, because if we don't, life is too short. Life is too short. We can pass away in the twinkling of an eye. So it's imperative that we take care of our health and know how to eat healthier. Just because you get a hunger craving don't mean that you have to eat. Your body should be under your submission. It should be submitting to you, to your will, not the other way around. So, you got people that do a lot of emotional eating, all that stuff. So that's not good or healthy either.
You're right. So right now I'm fasting, and one thing I tell people to try to discipline yourself too. Like learn how to, like you said, like you said it. You said people need to just learn how to control, like mind control. Like you control that, and also the fluids that you're drinking too. Like I don't do soda. If I do soda, it's just like whenever. I really, I don't even have it in the house. So when you're doing your food shopping, make sure you drink a lot of water, too. Detox yourself.
Of course.
Tea drinking. I'm not saying that sometimes you can't tap into your little things that you like chocolate cake. I love chocolate cake, okay? But I know where to get it, where it's a vegan-made chocolate cake. And I still, I don't overdo it. Even though it's vegan, I just don't overdo the sugar or whatever. So I don't overdo it. So it's just those little things that you do love. Just make it like a cheat day. Okay, I didn't have it in 3 months. Your body is not going to react if you have a little piece or a half a slice or whatever. But when you make it a habit of eating things back to back, just look at this is how I make it so simple. What did you eat yesterday? And it will determine what you eat today. So if you know you had that ginger ale yesterday, do not drink it the next day. Do not drink it for the whole week, or try not drink it for the whole month. Discipline yourself. And your health is your wealth. If you're not healthy, you really can't run a business. You really can't go to work. If your health is slowing you down, that's not a good thing, because that is your wealth. You need your body to do physical work, mental work, and then if your body is sluggish, you're going to take a nap, and you're going to take too many naps, and you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out on your everyday living. Yeah, so
exactly, because you're not going to have enough strength. You're going to be tired. You're going to be weary. You're going to be fatigued, and that can actually lead to strokes. Not taking care of your health and not getting enough sleep and stressing all the time too. So you have to be at a point where you are meditating, praying. That helps as well. You got to be more proactive when it comes to your life and your health, because, as you stated, your health is absolutely your wealth. And it's important that we acknowledge that. Take a few moments when you get up in the morning. If you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get up an hour earlier or 30 minutes earlier just to get your me time in. You need that rest, relaxation. You need to focus on your day, focus on God, and be grateful and thankful for why you are here on earth. It's always good to reflect on those things,
Gratitude, yes. Definitely give gratitude before you start any challenge for yourself. So just say after you done listening to this and you decide to just change your whole, eating habit, give yourself an applause, give yourself a little gratitude checklist, yay, I accomplished one thing, as in going towards my health and my wellness, because it's very important for you to take care of yourself. Self-care is important. Before you could give to others or before you could share your energy, you have to make sure that you are okay where you at in your life. And that definitely, when it comes down to wellness, mental control, which is mind control, learning how to meditate, calming down, learning, because, I practice meditation myself. So when I feel overwhelmed, the first thing that I do, I don't even, talk about it, as in, building that energy behind the negativity part. I just go into meditation mode, what, I need 15 minutes to just sit and act like nothing else exists in my world. And you deserve that. You deserve that. Yep.
If you don't take that time, I'm telling you, you're going to be sorry that you did not. And it's okay to take a nap throughout the day, too. I remember those times where I would take a nap. In fact, I could just be sitting and I'll be knocked out. I'll take my little power nap sometimes. And, I go to bed pretty early anyway, but sometimes I'll take me a little power nap And your body has a way of telling you, slow down or I will shut you down.
Yep. It has a way of telling you, and your body speaks. Your body speaks to you. It's just getting to the point that you listening to your body. You know, just pay attention to your body. Your body speaks. It shows in your skin. It shows, you know, in your physical well-being too. Like you said, you was out of breath before, right? You know, walking around. And
oh yeah, out of breath, having panic attacks, thinking I was having heart attacks and stuff. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, your body was just like, wake up, hello, I do exist. Like, I do exist. Take care of me. Just like we take care of our cars or our house or home. If we're not here, those little, you know, essentials that we have, those assets that we do have, doesn't even matter. If we are not here, it doesn't even matter. So just make sure you and always think about your older self. That's how I do things. I'm like, okay, my young self is getting myself prepared for my older self. So when your body builds habits, it's gonna be beneficial in the long run. Just like entrepreneurship, when you build habits in the beginning, your lifestyle is for the long run. You take notes. You know, you have certain things that you do that's habits that you put into alignment for your future self. So always think about your future self. You know, if you're taking walks now, that's good because when you get to a certain age, you know, your body slows down due to age, but it will have that same mind, you know, that same habit, and you will have that same mindset as your younger self that you took walks, 15-minute walk or around the block, or you used to run. You know, your brain is going to trigger that, and it's not going to be forceful for you when you're older to try to reprogram yourself to say, hey, now I need to start taking walks because I noticed that I'm slowing down. You know,
that's right.
At an older age.
And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
The views and opinions expressed by the host, participating audience, and our guests are solely their own and not necessarily that of Affirm Relationship Network.
Welcome to the Affirm Relationship Podcast. This podcast was created in honor of my sister, April Riley, who lost her battle to stage 4 pancreatic cancer. This show is from the perspective of singles, couples, parents, and everyday people. Affirm Relationship hosts, our special guests will speak on topics related to relationships and resources on how to improve those individual connections. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy our thought-provoking conversations, intellectual dialogue, useful information that will help enhance your life. Please don't forget to tune in and subscribe. I am your host, Kingya, a father, political activist, designer, and motivational speaker.